Welcome, everybody. My wonderful listeners, thank you so much for joining me today. This is your friend Lo here. I'm glad you guys can join me on Lounging with Lo. If this is your first time tuning into my show, I want to extend a really big warm welcome to you, and of my loyal listeners out there, it's great to have you back on the show. I invite you guys again to connect with me on social media, which would be Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where we can explore exciting content and engage with each other's thoughts and ideas. As I always mention, your feedback is incredibly important to me, so please feel free to email me. My email is in my social media if you'd like to let me know your thoughts about my work, any topics you'd like for me to cover in future episodes, or any ideas that can help me improve on future episodes. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about basketball movies in honor of March Madness. That would be the biggest basketball tournament for those who are big sports people. We're going to be talking about Coach Carter and Space Jam, the 90s version. I have not seen the remake of Space Jam with LeBron James. We're going to be talking about the movie, the actors, the theme, and some hidden gems within the movie and about the actors as well. As I always mention in my podcast, if you've never watched these movies, I would encourage you to stop the podcast right now and go watch the movie or movies, as there will be some spoilers. Let's talk about Coach Carter. This is a true story of a man named Ken Carter who returns to Richmond, California to coach the Richmond High Oilers basketball team. He was one of the best athletes when he attended the school as a young athlete, and he knew the neighborhood and could relate to the kids that lived there. The first practice, he makes the team sign a contract that they can participate in the games if they attend all classes and maintain a specific grade. The contract also stated that they are to wear a suit and tie on game days and treat their teammates, coaches, and teachers with respect. During the practices, he teaches them fundamentals, execution, defense, and conditioning. So basically, he helps draw up plays that help them win the games. During the school year, he received progress reports from the teachers and realized that the players are not taking their education seriously. So he takes drastic measures and initiates what's called a lockdown in the gym, which canceled most of the games. This lockdown shows them that they need to take their education seriously. During this lockdown, of course, the parents are questioning Carter because basketball is all that the boys look forward to and they dream of going to the NBA. This goes on for about a week, and then once Carter decided to give in because of the parents, he then saw them in the library studying and doing the work to catch up after practice. The athletes were able to graduate and get scholarships for schools, and it is all thanks to Coach Carter. Now, there are a lot of known actors and actresses in this film that you may have heard from previous works. Samuel L. Jackson, Rick Gonzalez, Antoine Tanner, Channing Tatum, and Octavia Spencer. Samuel L. Jackson plays Coach Carter. Fun fact, y'all. The L in Jackson's name stands for Leroy. Mystery solved. He was raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and attended the historically black college, Morehouse College, in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, after being expelled in 1969 because of a protest, he spent 2 years in Los Angeles as a social worker. Didn't know that about him. So he returned back to Morehouse to study acting. He graduated in 1972. 4 years later, he moved to New York City and began to work in theater. And in 1981, he met Morgan Freeman, an aspiring film student, Spike Lee, while appearing in a play. Now, these two gave him wonderful encouragement throughout his career. Spike Lee actually casted Jackson in some of his earlier films, School Daze, that's D-A-Z-E, Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues, and Jungle Fever, for which Jackson earned the first Best Supporting Actor award ever bestowed by the Cannes Film Festival judges. His biggest breakthrough, which would be Samuel L. Jackson, came in Quentin Tarantino's cult classic Pulp Fiction with John Travolta and Uma Thurman. He earned the nomination for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He has been in Jurassic Park, the Star Wars prequel trilogy as Mace Windu. He also voiced Frozone in the Incredibles movie series, and he was also Agent Nick Fury in the Marvel Universe. Now, here's some cool facts I found out about the film Coach Carter. Ken Carter was asked who should play him in the movie. He only wrote down one name. That was Samuel L. Jackson. Now, the real Ken Carter actually came on the set every day as a consultant to help Samuel L. Jackson portray his character. This also is the first film debut of Channing Tatum, who plays Jason Lyle in the movie. All of the actors had to go through a rigorous 3-week basketball camp before the movie was shot, and they ended up training up to 12 hours a day. Phew. 12 hours a day? That's crazy. But look what happened in the end. The movie's amazing. Why don't you guys go see it? Now, Channing Tatum never played basketball before this movie, but he had individual training with the coaches to help get him up to speed with the other actors. That's kind of pretty cool. Now, let's get to talk about one of my favorite basketball movies of all time, and that would be Space Jam. I'm going to be again discussing the 1996 film with Michael Jordan. And again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, I have not seen the remake with LeBron James. I'm so very sorry. The 1996 film starts off with an amusement park owner named Swackhammer having issues keeping customers and needing new attractions. He decides to get the Looney Tunes to be part of the park and sends his underlings to ask them. Bugs Bunny laughs at them when they tell him and the Tunes about their proposition. After having a discussion about it, they challenge the underlings to a basketball game, certain that they would win. The underlings go to different NBA games, and they steal the talents of Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Muggsy Bogues, and Larry Johnson, and Sean Bradley. They were no longer underlings, but called themselves the Monstars. While this is all happening in Looney Tune land, in the real world, Michael Jordan is having issues himself after he retired from basketball. He is now a mediocre baseball player. Yeah, you heard me right. Baseball player. One day while he was playing golf with Larry Bird and Bill Murray, he gets lassoed by Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny. They explain the situation with the Monstars and they ask for his help. So after consideration, Bugs and Daffy go to the real world to get Michael's gear and bring it to Looney Tune Land. Michael becomes the basketball player he was before he retired. And the Tunes were amazed of what they saw. It's the day of the game. Toon Stadium Arena, the competition begins. You see the Monstars, they're big, they're huge. The first half of the game, it's all Monstars with their talent, their slam dunks, and their threes, their good defense, all of it. It's awesome. But the Tunes are like, oh my God, what did we get ourselves into? Michael's doing everything that he can on that end. But in the second half, the Tunes were coming back. They got a groove coming. Now, during a timeout, of course, Swackhammer and Michael strike a deal that if the Monstars win, they will have Michael be a star attraction of the park. But if Michael wins, he must give the NBA players their talent back. So they're doing everything they can to get Michael in there. You know, they're playing bad defense, good defense, all that stuff. But in the end, the Looney Tunes win the game. And the underlings put the NBA talent in a basketball. It was part of the deal. Michael returned to his world with the ball and found the NBA players. They got their talent back by putting their hand on the ball. They were making a joke to Michael that he didn't have game anymore. But the Bulls welcomed him back on the NBA. The legendary Michael Jordan grew up in North Carolina and attended the University of North Carolina in 1981. He made the winning basket against Georgetown in the 1982 National Championship game as a freshman. He was named College Player of the Year in both sophomore and junior year, and left North Carolina after his junior year. In 1984 and 1992, he led the U.S. basketball team to the Olympics, winning gold medals. Michael was then drafted to the Chicago Bulls in 1984 as a guard. He was 6'6" and quickly became an exceptionally talented shooter, passer, and defender, winning 6 NBA national championships with the Bulls. Jordan has been named NBA's MVP, which is the most valuable player, 5 times: 88, 91, 92, 96, and 98. And was named Defensive Player of the Year in 1988. Now, here's a cool fact that I learned about Michael about the film. To keep Michael happy while filming Space Jam, Warner Brothers Studios built an actual basketball court on the set. And Michael used it whenever he could during the breaks. This was an amazing, and this is a great studio if you want to keep your big star happy. Trust me. This film was the highest grossing Looney Tunes film at $250 million, which is basically $250,000. It was the highest grossing basketball film until another film surpassed it. Space Jam and Coach Carter have strong thematic elements, but they focus on different aspects of sports and personal growth. So let's start with Coach Carter. This film shows discipline and hard work, which emphasizes the importance of discipline, commitment, and perseverance for achieving success both on and off the court. It shows education over athletics. This film instills the belief that academics are more important than basketball and shows the value of education for a better future for the players. I totally agree with that. Teamwork and accountability are another theme in this film because the players learn that they must work together and be responsible for their actions to succeed. Overcoming adversity is another theme portrayed in this film because the team faces challenges like personal struggles, poverty, and lack of community support, but learn later in the film to rise above them. And lastly, it portrays leadership and role models. Coach Carter served as a mentor by teaching his players life lessons that go beyond basketball. Space Jam, on the other hand, has themes of believing in yourself, teamwork and unity, determination and perseverance while having fun with sports. Believing in yourself is a theme throughout the movie. Michael and the Looney Tunes are examples. They had to play the Monstars, who were bigger and more talented than them. But they beat them and by believing in themselves. The Toon Squad learned by working together, and that was the key to their success. The determination and perseverance of Jordan and the Toons, despite the odds that they were against them, also helped them win the game. Space Jam highlights the joy and fun of playing basketball, unlike Coach Carter, who was more focused on discipline. I'm going to share with you guys a very special memory. I used to have a basketball hoop hanging over my door, and I loved to play this film and try to reenact most of the basketball shots. That was a weird and personal one, but I thought I'd share that with you because that's how much I love this movie. I don't have a basketball on my door anymore but I'd love to do it again, just to relive my childhood again. And Michael Jordan was one of my favorite NBA players growing up, and I was able to get an opportunity while on vacation to get a picture of blocking his shot. So there was a kiosk or a little small store where there's like a green screen, like a screen, and you could pick a picture. And it was Michael Jordan going for a dunk, and I'm shooting. I got my hand raised up close to where the ball was to block it. Oh, it was awesome. I wish I could find that picture, and I would post it, but alas, I can't find it. I also had a basketball that was bought by one of my mom's coworkers when he visited Michael's steakhouse in Chicago, Illinois. I thought that was pretty cool. Well, thank you all so much for joining me in this episode in honor of March Madness. I hope that my sports fans enjoyed the NCAA tournament this year and root for your team, and hope that your bracket, or even my bracket, doesn't even get busted. Join me next time as we talk about another topic on the show. You don't want to miss out on it. Guys, I want to thank you so much again for joining me, and as always, let's lounge together. Bye, guys.